Good afternoon, this is day 12 of my self-retweet video project. I mentioned yesterday that in terms of my diet, my rules are definitely not to eat any cheesecakes, any sweets, and also bread, for the reason that I observed that I crave bread. Once I start eating bread, it's very easy for me to eat like 2,000–3,000 calories worth of bread, whereas like if I was eating the same source of carbohydrates from rice, for example, then I wouldn't eat as much. So I just finished eating a pao, which is not technically a bread, but it's very similar to a bread with in terms of ingredients. I suppose it's made mostly of flour, I think, but I just observed the stream of thoughts that seemed very familiar to me, and I just thought it would be worth sharing on a video, because as soon as I finished eating it, there was something like, I wasn't supposed to eat bread, and I ate kind of bread. It's like bread, really. So I already crossed the line, really. So it doesn't matter. Maybe today I can eat whatever the hell I want, and I start from tomorrow, blah blah blah. I'm sure it sounds familiar if you have any experience with binge eating, but not just binge eating, because actually when I observe that thought, that stream of thoughts, it is very familiar to the times when I was actively and intensively betting on sports or even casinos at some doesn't matter, and it was the same thing. I had my strategy, very strict money management, very strict rules, what I can do and what I cannot do. And let's say, for example, that my strategy tells me I should be betting only like 200, whatever the currency, and I remember there were thoughts like, just subconsciously I tried to maybe make a mistake, like a typo mistake, to type 220, for example, so that it's very fast, 220. It was like subconscious hypocrisy observed, and I would do like 220, so there's not much harm really in terms of money management. Maybe I win 20 more, maybe I lose 20 more. It doesn't really matter like financially, but it matters psychologically, because then after that there is like a certain barrier was crossed by myself, and it's like the rules are broken, so it doesn't matter, so I can bet like 2,000 or 20,000 and so on. And that's just, and then it was like it was an excuse to justify my binge gambling, if I can call it that way. So I think it's good to observe my own behavior and then learn from it in a way that, like, obviously eating in terms of consequences is much more mild, much like lighter, much softer than like gambling away all your money, for example. But the principles and the analogies are very similar, if not the same in many cases. So I just observed it, that there is the same tendency going in my mind, like, okay, maybe if I do, like, I'm tempted to do something that is crossing the border, but it's just a little, so in one context it seems okay to do that, but in another context, and like after doing that, it's like, oh, now I can, like, my brakes are broken, I can do whatever the hell I want, I can just eat all the cheesecakes in Singapore, for example, and then move on to Malaysia and then eat anything they have. But obviously I'm very much aware of these thoughts, and it's not like it will be over at any point. I just observe myself on a daily basis, and it will be the same maybe tomorrow in a different situation, maybe with drugs, with alcohol, with like eating, with like I don't know, with anything else really. It's just good to observe myself and like learning anything new, because now with this bow which I just finished, it would be so easy, for example, do it even another one and another one, and then so it doesn't matter, so today I can do whatever. But maybe from the perspective of like of the whole life, it doesn't matter that much. But it's about direction, like which I'm going. And you know, if I start doing it again, I feel like I'm, you know, taking a few steps back, and like my trend is going down, rather than, as it is the case now. I observe the thought, I observe the craving, I did something which maybe I wasn't supposed to do, but then I just learn from it. Okay, it's finished. I'm checking in with myself at that very moment, and rather than lying to myself again and again, I just accept whatever happened. I take full responsibility for that, and just, you know, I'm just trying to be smarter and more responsible from now on. So not from tomorrow on, but from now on, because I'm still able to do that. And yeah, and I thought that was worth sharing. That was a case study that I'm looking for in my life. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, so thank you very much for listening. Let me know if it doesn't make sense, or if that's stupid. Maybe I'll be able to self-reflect on that, and then maybe I'll realize it is actually stupid, and so I will not make such video again. Yeah, so once again, thank you very much, and all the best to you. Bye.